No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Untitled Gaming Channel. I'm AJ Gels. Was that entirely necessary? No. But it's fun. As the title of this video says, God hates me, and we'll see that in the first 3 articles. I thought I'd lead off with those, then we'll get into some fun stuff. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. If I haven't said it, my name is AJ Gels. This is the Untitled Gaming Channel. This is the weekly show. If you're new to this, basically what I do is I gather news from all over the web throughout the week, and then I bring it here. We read articles. Sometimes we watch videos if we have them. We talk about them. There's some interesting stuff, some stuff that I have more to say about than others, but whatever. If you ever think I miss an article, please, you can send me links in the comments below, as well as on any of the social media platforms. All that stuff is linked down below. Anything else? I don't think that's about it. I think that's about it for that stuff. Something I won't be talking about this week. I've been talking with somebody on Twitter about this. I am not going to be talking about the whole Trump Violent Video Game Summit thing, just because it's just going to make me mad. I think anybody who's listened to this channel before knows how I feel about the government getting involved in private business, especially in video games, because censoring art and everything. I think it's dumb. I don't think anything's going to come of this, because I don't think publishers are going to stop releasing violent video games because of how well they sell. I don't think there were any developers. I think it was just flat out publishers, but I don't think any developers are going to stop making them. And also I think anything that they do in terms of like taxing violent video games more, like I think that was Rhode Island. I read that article a few weeks ago. It's just stuff that I just don't think is gonna go anywhere, and I don't feel like talking about it because it would make me mad. But here we go. First article we got is probably the biggest thing that pissed me off the most. And that is Call of Duty Black Ops 4 has been announced. It's releasing October 12th. Activision and article Imran Khan of Game Informer. The article reads, Activision and Treyarch have announced Call of Duty Black Ops 4, the 4th Black Ops game since the series' debut in 2010, and will release on October 12th. The game was announced with a logo today, ending speculation from earlier this week about whether it would be a 4th Black Ops game or an entirely new Call of Duty sub-series from Treyarch. The stream featured a short montage of quick game footage indicating another near-future shooter in line with recent Black Ops titles. The bits of footage seem to also indicate that Zombies mode would make a return. Yeah, no shit. The stream also confirmed that a community event on May 17th will reveal more about the game, with more likely at E3 later this year. In an email alongside the announcement, Activision confirmed that Call of Duty Black Ops 4 will release on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. They make there's something I like about Game Informer, the whole the R take or whatever. Look for the full review at May, and they're probably doing this because October 12th, it's usually they release Call of Duty at the end of October. But it's like they said, it's probably to avoid Red Dead Redemption 2. I was kind of reading the comments below. Go read the article. There's some funny comments. Some people, flipping out that that's not the Roman numeral 4. There are people. Somebody was saying, "Dear God, don't go back to the future. Go to the Cold War or something." And I got to agree with that. Dear God, let's not. I don't want more futuristic shooters, and I don't want more Black Ops, because this is another. In all honesty, this is a Call of Duty that I probably won't play. I won't play another Black Ops game. I won't. I really liked Black Ops 1. I haven't played another one in the franchise. I just don't like. I'm not getting into these future mechs and mech suits and metal skeletons. I don't like it. It's just their stories just have not. I've seen Let's Plays of the stories too. Just they're so uninspired. They're so boring. It's not fun. Personally, I thought Advanced Warfare, no matter how much shit that gets for the press X to pay respects thing, that one gets a lot of crap. But I legitimately did think that Advanced Warfare was really good. No matter what you think about Kevin Spacey, especially with everything that's come to light about him, I still like his movies, and I thought he acted the crap out of that role. I really liked Advanced Warfare. Then Infinite Warfare's story was awesome. Its multiplayer I thought was bland, but I also think that about Call of Duty multiplayer in general. I think their multiplayers have been very bland as of late, especially no matter how much I wanted to like World War II's multiplayer, I think it would have been better to do something more like Battlefield 1, which I think that game is just killing it, and I really hope they stay in a historical shooter kind of sense for the new one that they're coming out, because I think Battlefield is doing another game at the end of this year. But back on Call of Duty, yeah, it's just and again, somebody in the bottom made a really good point that Advanced Warfare and Infinite Warfare had great stories. They really did. I mean, they were cinematic, they were enjoyable. I really liked the characters. It's just everything that went through. I'd say I really liked World War II's story. I thought that was phenomenal. But it's just Black Ops, to me, it's just they're the more well-known ones, and I think Treyarch gets a lot of credit for them, but I don't think Treyarch can make a good story. I don't think that they're good with their stories. I just don't. I'm not sure. I could be putting my foot in my mouth here, but Treyarch, they did the Modern Warfare ones, didn't they? I believe they did. Give me a second. I gotta look this up. Okay, I was wrong. I just looked it up. I believe Infinity Ward did the Modern Warfare, but in all honesty, I think they made up for. So this is the problem when three different developers are doing one video game series. I can't remember which one was which because, and I'm not gonna make another cut to go back because I think Infinity Ward also did Ghosts, and I really liked Ghosts. I want a sequel to Ghosts. And no matter how much I personally didn't like Modern Warfare, I know a lot of people do. I didn't. But I think they made up for it with Ghosts, and I think they did Ghosts, and I know they definitely did Infinite Warfare. So in my opinion, they redeemed themselves. But yeah, this is just starting to get lazy as well. We don't need another Black Ops. Do another, okay, I guess you could say a World War II game is lazy. I guess they're running out of concepts. But still, we don't need another Black Ops game. It just depressed me as soon as I saw this news. Kind of like this article, also by Game Informer. Ubisoft reveals The Division 2 is in development with full reveal coming at E3 2018. Article Matt Burtz. Yep. I believe I told... Who was I talking to about this? I was talking to Samori Roden on Twitter. He asked me my opinions on this, and I said, it's too soon, / this game shouldn't be made. I'm going to be totally honest. I don't think this game should be made. I'll give more opinions after we keep going through. Article reads, given the shared success of The Division, a sequel was inevitable. Even though the game went through some rough patches, developer Massive Entertainment continued to refine the experience while adding new content to keep its fans busy. Today, a leaked press release revealed that Ubisoft plans to show The Division 2 at E3 this year, and I quote, "We are very pleased to announce that we are currently working on Tom Clancy's The Division 2. The press release says the development is led by Massive Entertainment and driven by close collaboration with Ubisoft ANSI, Red Storm, Reflections, Ubisoft Bucharest, and Ubisoft Shanghai. The Division 2 will be based on an updated version of the Snowdrop engine that will help us realize our ambitions for this title. More importantly, we can also invest all the experience we've accumulated over the past 2 years in this sequel to make sure everything is going well," end quote. The press release also revealed plans for extended support for the original game, including Xbox One enhancements to support 4K, 2 new global events, and more legendary difficulty missions. Ubisoft previously patched the PS4 version to support the increased hardware performance of the PS4 Pro. Starting in June, players will be able to earn crests in The Division that allow them to unlock the Division 2 rewards. Our take, making sequels to shared online worlds is easier said than done, as evidenced by Destiny 2's rough first year. Walking away from all the content you already created for a universe is a tough call, and it could be one that Bungie wishes it could have back, as disappointed fans lament the lack of meaningful things to do. Perhaps Massive Entertainment has a better proposition. We'll find out soon. I'm gonna be all honest here. I mean, I liked The Division. I thought it was fun, but I mean, it's the same thing that I get from all of these, like they said, these shared online worlds. I get bored of them. It's just because everybody's, oh well, there's so much to do. Missions. I'm just. Maybe it's because I'm not a real social person. I prefer a deep single-player RPG. Like, I'll go back and play The Witcher about 80,000 freaking times and just quest and quest and quest and quest. I accidentally turned on my Xbox. I really love doing that shit. And stuff like The Division just doesn't appeal to me. So maybe that's part of my not apprehension, but my disagreement with this project. It's just, I don't think they need a sequel. I think they're trying to make MMOs, but MMOs don't have this fast of a turnaround with sequels. Hell, World of Warcraft technically never had a sequel. They just kept adding to it. And I mean, that's about all I know about World of Warcraft. Never really played World of Warcraft, but it's just these games, it's like, we're going to keep dropping sequels. It's like Destiny 2. Just keep supporting the first one. Make these changes to the first one. Just keep releasing patches and updates and keep putting out more content. It seems like we're trying to mix MMOs with your usual big blockbuster games. I just think they're very different things. Or it's like Diablo. I mean, that series has been around for a long-ass time, actually. I'm going to be talking about Diablo a little bit later. But, I mean, what? I mean, there's been 3 Diablos? Maybe a 4th? I don't know. It shows how much I pay attention to Diablo. But that's my concept. It's just in my opinion, I think it's really soon to see The Division 2. Just like I think there was more of a case to be made for let's make Destiny 2, but even then, I still think Destiny, they might have pushed it a little too early, and then then we have this answer right here that Destiny, or they, as they put in their take, Destiny 2 had a bit of a rough first year, especially leaving from Destiny 1. I think The Division's going to have a similar issue unless they just do something absolutely phenomenal. And I got to say, I really like the world of The Division. I like the concepts. I thought the whole Dead Zone thing was really cool, but it's like I said, I'm not too terribly excited about this, and I just think this is unnecessary. I'd rather see Ubisoft put its effort into some other stuff. I mean, I have an article again later about Ubisoft. Apparently, they're working on a new project that's Untitled that we don't know about. We'll look into that a little later. But I said the Call of Duty article was probably the thing that got me the most sad. But now, kind of looking back on it, I think this is probably actually what did it for me. Days Gone has been delayed 2019. Article Joe Screbbles IGN. Let's just read this and I can go cry into a pillow for a little bit. Like I said, Joe Screbbles IGN. Days Gone has been delayed into 2019. Sony has confirmed. The game's official website now lists the new release. And US Gamer got confirmation from Sony that the change from 2018 was deliberate. No reason has been given for the delay. Days Gone follows the improbably named bounty hunter Deacon St. John in a post-apocalyptic open world. It's being developed by Siphon Filter developer Sony Bend. It's most notable right now for its impressive crowd physics applied to its zombie-like freaker enemies at last year's E3. We said it looks like Horizon Zero Dawn, but subbing out robot dinosaurs for slightly more played-out zombies. I think that's a very apt description for this game. I'm super pumped for it. I keep talking about it, how much I want this, and it really pisses me off that this is being pushed back to next year. I'll say this for 2 reasons. I think this year would have been the year to release this because I think it would have been far enough away from The Last of Us Part 2. Now, I know I'm talking about The Last of Us Part 2, and I mean, we don't even have a release date for that game yet. I'm still putting late 2019. So I think dropping this in the same year that game's going to be coming out is a really, really bad move. Because, I mean, they're so similar in concept and tone. But all in all, the thing that makes me the most sad is that I'm going to have to wait even longer to play Days. Trying to form the sentence is the way that I would have liked The Last of Us even better, and I already give that game pretty much a 10 out of 10, is if it was open world. Yet at the same time, I really like what Naughty Dog does in their linear kind of games, and I think Days Gone is giving me that. What if The Last of Us was open world? But I also like the character Deacon. I like the whole thing. He's kind of like a biker. He's got his little motorcycle. Just everything in the game looks sweet. I'm super pumped. And it makes me sad that I have to wait even longer for this game. All right, I'm gonna take a quick break for these long endurance episodes. I like to stand up after a little bit, but now I gotta get happy before I move on to the rest of the stuff, because I'm not upset about the rest of this. This was, I thought I'd get the sad stuff out of the way first, so I'll be back in a second. Alright guys, we're back. Time to get into some happier news. 7 things to know before you play Far Cry 5. Article Leon Hurley of Games Radar. Usually I don't read these on this channel. Usually I don't read these articles kind of at all, because I like to figure shit out on my own. Maybe I'll read them before a second playthrough, so I know, oh, I can do this, I can do that. Oh, that's neat. But I really wanted to do this one just because reading it, this is a very different kind of Far Cry. I'll go into why as we go. But this game reminds me less of Far Cry of the past and more like something else that came out recently, and I'm really interested in this even more now, because I'm super stoked for Far Cry 5. As I keep saying, it's just because I really like the new setting. I like where they're putting it, kind of up in, I believe it's Montana. I think it's very much if they were going to release in America, put it. It's still kind of mountainous, it's kind of remote, these small towns. I think this is a great way to do this and still keep this game in America. I think it's awesome. I'm super stoked. But there we go. That's enough of me geeking. Let's go. Article reads, okay, Far Cry 5 isn't out until March 27th, but I've currently played a good 15 or so hours across various preview events, which means I already know things about stuff. Alright. Like how to liberate regions quicker, or how to earn perks faster, and most importantly, how to get the bear. Read on then for some Far Cry 5 tips to prep you ahead of the game's release. Number 1, talk to people. Far Cry doesn't use towers anymore to unlock the world or mark the map. Instead, it gets a bit more Skyrim, where talking to people gives you mission info and adds quests to your journal. It's hard to miss the essential stuff, but make sure you chat to anyone and everyone you see standing around in case they have something you can do. That's really interesting. That's already an interesting move, especially for games like this, because usually you have that option, like running around in Horizon. I always have to ask the question, like, is it worth going up and talking to everybody? Is it going to pop stuff up on my map, or is it not really matter? So with this, it's cool to know that that actually means something to talk to people. I think it's a more organic way. It's a little more annoying because because I'm sure not every person I can talk to has something important to say, but at the same time, I really like what they're doing. They're trying to make these NPCs that we just find out in the world more important. So let's see. Unlock the bear, dog, or other characters right at the start. While we're mentioning Cheeseburger the bear, that is a great name. It's worth nothing. Oh, it's worth noting, that you can unlock him pretty much from the word go, with a mission to liberate the Fang Center from the Eden's Gate cultists. The main thing is to check your journal for any missions you pick up, as it'll tell you what or who you'll unlock and what additional rewards you'll get for completing in any game if a mission gives you a bear as a reward to it. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, I really like this concept of they're not hired guns. I can't remember what they call basically the companions. And from what I can tell, there's a fair decent amount of companions in this game, or specialists, I guess is what they're called. Choose your companions wisely and change them. There was a typo there. Them when you. What I was. I'll read this and then we'll get into this. And this is another interesting thing here, but again, God, I actually really did like this article. Article reads, as you play, you'll unlock a range of people and animals you can call to fight alongside you. While you obviously have your favorites, the dog, it's worth swapping various characters in and out depending on what you're doing. You can dismiss and call them in at will, so it makes sense to think about what you actually need. Grace as a sniper is great for range support, while Sharky has a flamethrower to create chaos at close range, and he's resistant. Other characters pack silent bows or rocket launchers and more, so depending on whether you want to go loud or stealthy, fight from a distance, or up close, you might want to switch things around. Some also have perks that can affect things. Cheeseburger the bear draws all enemies toward him, for example, so you can shape how fights play out as well as the weapons used. I really like this, how they're adding companions to Far Cry. As opposed to kind of going like the lone animal. Like I always thought, like Far Cry 4, for example, like you have, they're idiots. Oh my god, and bear arms. Cross to bear. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. Yeah, I'm super pumped. I really like this concept. These hired guns, or these specialists, or whatever you want to call them. I'm also curious to know, like, can we like modify their weapons? Can, like, right here, you see that right there. My question is that what they're equipped with? Is that what we're equipped with? I want to know that. I think that would be really interesting to find out. But I really like this concept. Oh, and total kills. Interesting. So assigned to. There's so much that I want to ask about this, but I'm probably not going to get I'll probably just have to wait 2 weeks until we actually get our hands on this. But I really like the companions. I really like the concepts. Like what I think we saw something around last E3 or PSX. I can't remember exactly which. That we saw. I think they were using Grace to attack a compound or a outpost, whatever you want to call it. And Grace was used as a sniper, yet what they were talking about, or the way they were showing her how she was used, a lot of Quiet from Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. So, I mean, I think that's what they're shooting for with the companions. I think each of them have their own unique abilities. I mean, obviously, from what this is saying, they all have their unique abilities. I also like how there's a good number of them, and I hope there's stories connected to these characters. Like, they're real characters. They're not just, well, here's this dude. I'm really hoping for that. Make sure you max out your resistance points. As with previous Far Cry's, excuse me, things you do in game earn you resistance points, and when you fill the meter, you can take on the boss. Everything gives you points, but some activities earn more than others, so check your journal for the highest payout. If you want to progress faster, for example, liberating an outpost pays you 400 RP, while rescuing a hostage will earn you 50 RP. The last one might not sound like much, but one early side mission gives you a chance to rescue 9 hostages, so there are big payouts to win if you pay attention. You can also grab extra points along the way. Killing a VIP cultist will earn you extra points, as will looting certain trucks. Just keep an eye out, and you should be the big bads in no time. Now, looking at this come on, brain. Looking at this map, you have all of Joseph's. I can't read that word because of the. Yeah, I can't read those exactly, but there's regions. It looks like there's leaders of the regions. I'm gonna make my call now, and I wasn't actually thinking about this just yet, or I didn't think about this until I read this article, and that is, I'm going to guess that this game is going to be a lot structured similarly to Ghost Recon Wildlands, which I think could be good or bad depending on how narrative focused. Because there's still got to be missions and everything, unlike what Wildlands did. Which Wildlands was just kind of just gain the intel and do these little small things, and then you get the big missions. Excuse me. But I'm expecting to see something similar like this because, you obviously, I think, have these 3 guys, which are kind of like the big leaders of, like, the different branches of the Wildlands. Again, this is totally speculation based on what I'm seeing here, but that could be really cool for this game. And I never thought of fusing those 2 concepts into Far Cry. And I'm really interested to see what they're going to do here. I'm going to guess this is level ups and skills and whatnot. Speccing out your character involves unlocking perks and gadgets. That includes things like improving your skill with different weapons or getting a wingsuit. Like the resistance points, almost anything you can do counts towards this. Kills with almost any weapon, for example. It's worth checking in your journal to see what progress you're making in case there's a gun that's a few kills off. There's a few kills off a perk point, so you're not sitting on any unclaimed. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't think of it like I was thinking of this as I'm sure there's RPG elements here. There's going to be like level ups. I didn't think of perk points for weapons themselves. So there's actually a real point to find a weapon you like and keep using it. Again, maybe I'm reading something into here that they're not writing in. Again, we're going to have to wait. I think right now it's 17 days till the game officially drops. But that could be really cool. Ooh, interesting. Keep an eye out for prepper stashes. Scattered around the world in Far Cry are prepper stashes, which is basically just a big old pile of loot waiting to be grabbed. There's always a puzzle of sorts involved, usually a generator to start somewhere to open the door, but they're worth doing because you'll get a lot of gear and cash for a few minutes work. Yeah, okay. Not much to comment here, just kind of like this last one here. Complete clutch challenges to earn cash and unlock vehicles. You can buy and pick up vehicles in garages all over the world with in-game cash. Completing various stunts, runs, and races will also unlock new vehicles and earn you the cash you need to purchase them. Just look out for Clutch Nixon Memorials, who's an Evel Knievel type stuntman in Far Cry 5 that used trucks, bikes, wingsuits, and more to blaze trail across the world. Simply beat his records, and you'll have more money and rides to play with. Okay, so I'm gonna guess that this map is fairly larger than we've seen in a Far Cry game, seeing that they're talking about buying vehicles. So I'm gonna guess vehicles are actually going to be more of a bigger part to this game. Yeah. I hope this interested you. If you're gonna play Far Cry 5, I'm interested in this. I'm stoked for Far Cry 5, and I really liked. This article gave me some insights into some things I wasn't necessarily expecting. But all right, on to I guess a article I have less to say about here. H1Z1 goes free to play. Article Alex Osborne, IGN. H1Z1 is going free to play. The Battle Royale game will be available for download on PC free of charge today, starting at around 10 a.m. PT, 1 p.m. ET, and 6 p.m. UK, March 9th at 5 a.m. AET. Article came out on the 8th, so it's already out there, free to play, PC if you're interested. As a thank you to those who supported H1Z1 during its time in early access, everyone who already purchased the game will receive the H1Z1 Appreciation Pack, which includes 10,000 skulls and 10 victory crates, as well as Gas Runner hoodie, Bloom Survivor t-shirt, and Splinter Camo ARV. Additionally, Bronze, Silver, and Limited Editions Gold Battle Royale packs have been to coincide with H1Z1's free-to-play launch. Details about the packs can be found on Steam. H1Z1 officially launched on Steam Early Access last week, complete with a new mode called Auto Royale. In addition to Auto Royale, which pits up to 30 teams of 4 in a battle, where only one vehicle is left standing, a host of new features have been added to H1Z1, including a mini-map, refined airdrop system, and more. The first season of H1Z1 Pro League kicks off next month on April 21st in Las Vegas, Nevada. The 15 competition, which will span to 10-week splits, will broadcast live from the Twin Galaxies Esports Arena in Caesars Entertainment Studios. Fans can watch the competition in person or catch the action streaming on Facebook. We got some. In my opinion. For more on H1Z1, find out what they break, how PUBG is creating opportunity for H1Z1 to reach larger. Yep. Like I said, I don't really have much to say about H1Z1. Not super. I'm not extremely interested in H1Z1, but this did mention something that I did kind of want to talk about. How it's talking about these crates and all this stuff. What happens to this game if all this legislation or whatever happens with loot box? We can't have loot box anymore. Do they have to fundamentally change their game? Does this game get banned? What the hell happens with that? And next question with that, are we going to stop seeing free-to-play games then? Because a lot of these free-to-play games have in-game purchases. Are we going to see these just go away because we can't make those anymore? What's going on with that? I think these are, I don't know, interesting questions, in my opinion. Put your answers down in the comments below. Like I said, this is pretty much just to anyone interested, H1Z1 free-to-play. I'm going to be talking about zombie games that I'm actually excited for, and a game that's actually coming out a lot sooner than I thought. State of Decay 2, finally, an Xbox exclusive that I give a shit about. Granted, it's also coming to PC, but I'll probably play it on Xbox, because I'm going to play controller. I'm going to be totally honest, I'm going to play controller, so I'm going to play on Xbox. I'm not going to be playing on PC. Plus, yeah, it's just, I'm going to play Xbox. How it is. State of Decay 2, Imran Khan, the writer of this, also on Game Informer. State of Decay 2, the highly anticipated sequel to zombie survival game from last generation, now has a release in 2 separate. The game comes in a standard edition priced at $29.99 and an ultimate edition at $49.99. The Ultimate Edition allows players to access the game early on May 18th and includes the original game State of Decay Year 1 Survival Edition on Xbox One and State of Decay 2 DLC packs Independence and Daybreak, which have TBD release dates. Microsoft got behind State of Decay after the first game made a huge splash on Xbox Live Arcade. The new game runs on Unreal 4, switching from the game's CryEngine. You can check out the game's trailer below. State of Decay 2 in release Xbox One PC. Super stoked for this. I really loved State of Decay. Really, there wasn't one of the few games that really doesn't have a story that I could sit and just play for hours and hours and hours, just because I loved the scavenging and the exploring, and just there's so much fun to the game. There's a lot of randomness to it as well. I mean, the map's always the same, but you know where some characters are, where there's compounds. I'm hoping for this one that we see more, not only a bigger map, but we're gonna see, you know, a bigger map. You know, just some tighten up the combat. Be with survivors out there. Well, how do you? I'm trying to think here. My brain's not working. Come on. Like trading with other groups, you know, like there is like a charisma or like a rapport with other groups, but there wasn't really a way. But you did that through helping them in little side missions. I'm saying, like, can we set up like little trade deals with them? Can you maybe go to war with other groups of survivors? I think there could be some really interesting ways to do that. I'm not sure what they're intending to do. I mean, again, this game's coming out in May, which way earlier than I thought. I was expecting to see this game come out later. But I'm stoked. Now my only question about this is, am I going to pay the $30 or the $50? Because I have State of Decay on my PC, but I'm not sure if I want to get it. I don't know. I'll probably spend the $50 and just so I can get it early and just play everything. I'm super stoked. If you haven't checked it out, it's on Steam. Go play State. It's super fun. Have any like real analysis to say. I'm just super pumped. But like I said, that's something that I want to see out of State of Decay 2. Is I want to see more interaction between like enclaves of survivors. I also wish the game wouldn't try and shove you through the main shove you through the story as fast. I wish it would give you just more time to go out and explore and interact with the world, because there's tons of fun stuff to do. There's so much I kind of want to talk about here, but I want to keep moving because it's 7:30 in the morning, and I'm trying to get this up by noon. But oh man, there's more stuff I want to keep talking about. I mean, I'm also interested to see what building your bases is going to be like. How are we going to continue with managing the survivors, and how they're going to how you want the survivors to interact inside the base. Like, how do you can you set jobs of who you want to do what when? Are we going to go in that much detail, or is it going to be like the first one where it's just kind of randomized? There's just so much I want to ask about. It's like base building and how managing survivors and bringing people out into the field. This game is going to involve multiplayer where you play as. Because the cool thing about this game is there's no main character. No, not really. Pretty much any character can die at any time as you build up these survivors, and you can switch among the different survivors in your party or in your little enclave or whatever you want to call it. You can switch between the different survivors, and they all have different skills depending on which weapons you use. It's really super in-depth game in its own way. It's super neat. But the thing I'm curious about with State of Decay 2 is how in-depth is that going to be? What's the next step? And I also know that it's going to involve, at least I believe it's going to involve multiplayer, where I'm going to hedge my bet just in case I'm wrong. But another player can come in and play as one of the other survivors, so you can go out and loot together. It's really neat. But the one big thing I do want them to change, and I promise, last comment, big thing I want them to change is that the game world doesn't continue playing when you're not. I really wish it wouldn't do that, because that's my big problem with State of Decay 1, is that when I start that's what I kind of mean by it's shoving you through the story, because maybe I don't have time to play State of Decay every day for a couple hours. It's just, I wish that when I turn it off, it would pause the game world. That's or give me the option to do that, if that makes sense. That's what I want. That's about my biggest complaint. And if there's a way to pause it in the first one, please somebody tell me, and I got to go back and play that game, because I freaking love it. But there we go. Moving on to, honestly, I've been wanting another boxing game to come out in a long time. But article Shabana RF, boxing champ Floyd Mayweather is apparently making a game. Now, I'm not gonna. I'll leave my. God, fucking shit. I really don't. I really don't. I really don't like Floyd Mayweather. I just don't. I think he's overrated. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's damn good. I think he's one of the best. But I don't. Everybody's like, oh, he's the best boxer ever. No, Ali. I'm sorry. I know it's cliche, but Muhammad Ali, best boxer ever. Floyd Mayweather, no way. He picked his fights near the end of his career. I don't like people who do that. I mean, he's a very good athlete. He's a very good businessman in the sport, but I don't like how he picked his Pacquiao before Pacquiao was injured, when Pacquiao was younger, when he had the few chances to do it, and he just never did. He only fought Manny Pacquiao when Pacquiao was older, past his prime, and just I don't know. I don't like Floyd Mayweather. Let's actually talk about a video game. Floyd Mayweather has announced that he's hopping aboard the video game bandwagon with his own creation that's currently in the works. The undefeated boxer told TMZ that he is, and I quote, working on his video game, saying that he couldn't be involved with EA's series because he has to have some ownership of the project he's involved with. Of course. It's probably because he can go bankrupt a few times. Mayweather won't be the first boxer to have his his name emblazoned on a fighting game. Mike Tyson had the honor of being the final boss in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out on the NES. Although with the license expired on using Tyson's name, he was replaced with the Mr. Dream character. While the game could be something as simple as a time killer for smartphones, Mayweather was the one to bring up EA's Fight Night in the brief interview. I mean, his brand is the best ever. Surprise us all with something deserving of his TBE, the best ever brand. I really hope if he's going to make something, I'll pull back some of my critique of Floyd Mayweather just because I want another Fight Night game. I want a really good boxing game that lets you do... I don't think I've really played any of the fight. I think Fight Night Champion was close, but I really haven't played a Fight Night game that I really liked the, create your boxer and play through a career. I want one to make something good with that. I think Mayweather could do it. I think he's got the money. I think he knows this. Again, he knows the sport. I think this could be something cool. It's not like I think something real. Stick-based punching. I just don't like it. I'm not, because I suck at it. Let me put it that way. All right. Well, that's about all I got on this one. Now, I can't believe this was won't have microtransactions, says directors. Yeah, no shit. Who thought it would be? Who thought it would have microtransactions? Microtransactions don't even make sense in a game like God of War. I don't get it. Shabana RF, IGN. God of War director Cory Barlog has confirmed the upcoming game will not feature microtransactions. A Twitter user posted a screenshot showing what could be taken to be in-game currency in the game's menu and asked if there would be microtransactions in the game. Yeah, again, I just don't get how that would make sense. Let's see here. No freaking way, Cory Barlog, March 6, 2018. No freaking way, replied Barlog, who is currently traveling around Europe to promote the game and was enjoying a selection of godly-themed beers in front of a blazing brazier at the time the question was posted, judging by his Twitter account. The statement was met with an assortment of gifs and responses thanking the director for not including them in the game. Microtransactions have become even more of a bone of contention than usual in recent months. The recent spate of loot box controversy surrounding games like Battlefront 2. It's because Battlefront 2 did it in the most ridiculous possible. God, how many times do I have to say it? Has caused upheaval in the industry for both gamers and regulatory bodies alike. Just last month, Hawaii lawmakers proposed a series of bills targeted the sale of loot boxes in games. I've talked about that before. I think it's just ridiculous. And again, with Battlefront 2, loot boxes aren't the problem. Loot boxes aren't the problem in this. It's the way they used them was absolutely ridiculous. How they're integral to the progression in the game. It's just, again, about it multiple times. I don't blame loot by ensuring that their loot boxes contain cosmetic items only and can't be categorized as pay to win. Having a developer confirm that their title won't feature microtransactions of any kind is notable these days. A limited edition God of War PlayStation 4 Pro bundle was unveiled last week, inspired by Kratos' Leviathan axe. I still love that thing. That looks fucking awesome. And will release alongside the game on April 20th. It's available for pre-order now, $400 US, 500 Canadian. Check out the details, all that stuff. Again, you can go follow any of these going to the article down in the description below. Again, it's like I said, I want to know who the hell, why you'd think that just because you see something of like maybe there what could have been considered in-game currency or whatever. Think about the kind of game this is. I mean, game from what we've seen for God of War looks different from the previous kind of games, from the previous God of War games. But even then, it's just I don't see how microtransactions would work in this game, and I don't get why people would think that. It's weird to me. Either way, break, refill my drink, whatnot. Article on IGN, written by Jordan Serrani. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice could be coming to Xbox One. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice reportedly has been rated for Xbox One by Taiwan's Game Software Ratings Board. The listing, first spotted by Reddit user that shows an unlisted release date for the unconfirmed port, as well as its potential box art. Yeah, it's just the box art with Xbox One on screen. God, whatever. Yeah, product name, all that stuff. Yeah. IGN has reached out to Ninja Theory for comments on whether the 2017 game could be coming to Xbox One. While an Xbox One port hasn't been officially announced, the same ratings board previously outed several other games ahead of their reveals, including BioShock The Collection and Rocket League for Xbox One. Hellblade, which recently won a DICE Award for Outstanding Achievement in Character, was initially released last August on PlayStation 4 and PC. IGN's Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice review called it a masterclass of atmosphere, storytelling, and mirage of mechanical and conceptual design. Yeah. I also wrote a review of it, and I said basically the same thing, just not as art. Don't write like that. I don't know. I'm gonna talk a little shop here. I just people write like this. It's cool sounding, but at the same time, really, it's just say you liked it. Say you liked it because it nailed the atmosphere, it nailed storytelling. It's all this stuff. It's flowery language that could just be told more just straight. I don't know. It's a thing with me. Yeah. Again, not much to add. Hellblade was awesome. Loved it. It's one of my favorite games last year. The reveal of games. So maybe it's happening, maybe it's not. Either way, if it does happen, anybody who has an Xbox One, not a PS4, and didn't get to play Hellblade, get it. Hellblade kicked ass. So, like I said, I'm going to be taking a quick break. Once again, back in a second. Alright, I'm back, and we're going to be picking this up with an article over on Twitter. A fairly short article. Naruto Shippuden, I'm not 100% sure the proper pronunciation of that word. Either way, Ultimate Ninja Storm Trilogy hits the Switch in April in North America. Put your hair up and square up. I like that. Anime fighting fans rejoice. The Nintendo Switch edition of Punch Up Compendium. Okay. Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm Trilogy will arrive on day and date with its Japanese release scheduled for next month. The trilogy package contains all 3 Ultimate Ninja Storm titles, as well as all previously released DLC. Released DLC costumes. Those of you none too keen on the idea of indulging in the game's trademark frantic fighting action with Joy-Cons will be pleased to know that the title supports the Pro Controller. Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm Trilogy, which is already available on PS4, Xbox One, and PC, will be downloadable from the Japanese and US eShop on April 26th. The port is yet to receive a European release date. Like the idea. I like the Ultimate Ninja Storm games. The newest worth it. I enjoy it. I'm not sure if I'd buy it because I have a couple of them on Xbox, and I'm not sure I'd really want them for portable release. But all in all, good series of games. Check it out if you're interested. Again, this was a short article. Just because we had a bit of a Nintendo news because there was a Nintendo Direct earlier. But speaking of games that's non-Nintendo games coming to the Switch. But again, this is something I really like about the Switch, is how they're bringing non-Nintendo things, or non-Nintendo owned IPs. They're opening it up to the third parties. I really like that. Diablo 3 rumored to be coming to the Switch after all. Article again, Shibano Arif, IGN. The will they, won't they speculation of whether Blizzard will release Diablo 3 on Nintendo Switch continues, and this time we're back to they will, as sources close to the project apparently confirmed the existence. Eurogamer reports that its sources have confirmed a Diablo 3 port for the Switch is a thing, but that the official reveal is scheduled for several months away. The kerfuffle kicked off last week with a tweet from Blizzard showing a Diablo-themed nightlight being switched on and off. This was immediately followed by a whirlwind of speculation that Diablo 3 was on its way to the Switch. A Blizzard spokesperson soon tried to put a stop to the rumors, and I quote, "We can assure you we're not that clever," end quote, they said in relation to the tweet being a subtle hint for the port. "It was meant to be a fun community engagement piece. We have nothing to announce," end quote. Gamer So we'll likely have to wait for confirmation from Blizzard or Nintendo on the existence of the port before we can ascertain any more details. Either that or wait for someone else to spill the beans. Again, this is another article I included just for people who are interested. I'm not a blow guy. I'll let anybody watching who wants to comment down below and fight in the comments. So have at it. Next article also coming by way of IGN by Jordan Alleman. That guy's name. This is the problem when I do these long episodes. I start getting tongue-tied. Nintendo filed a Switch patent that includes the Donkey Konga drums. Nintendo has filed a patent for the Switch that includes Donkey Konga drums. The patent filed in the US in August of 2017 and pertains to a set of extended input devices for the Nintendo Switch. It has only been made public today. Examples shown include a keyboard peripheral and a pair of bongo drums that look similar to the device used in 2004's Donkey Konga for the Nintendo GameCube. The example image shows a vaguely familiar-looking character flying through a woodland landscape. The bongos being used by the user to power its aircraft. Konga drums did not see much use during the GameCube's lifespan, and this would be a great way to reintroduce the playstyle to the new console generation with the malleability of the Switch. Whilst the patent don't, what the hell? Come on, editors. Whilst the patent don't always indicate future plan. Okay, it does seem like Nintendo is engaging a range of interesting peripherals for the console following the announcement of Nintendo Labo in January. Yeah, I think that this is given way more credence by the fact that Labo thing. I'm not gonna get it because I'm not interested in having a shitload of cardboard sitting around in my house, but. But all in all, I think this is cool. I played a little bit of Donkey Konga. I thought it was fun. I liked it. And I'm interested to see if it's really going to happen. Because I know some people would be super stoked. I knew people who really like Donkey Konga. So, who knows? Hopefully it'll be a thing, and we'll play it if it does. Again, I just... The 8th Mario. I love Mario Tennis games. I loved it back. I remember the first one I played was Mario Tennis on my N64. Just fucking loved it. Article Marty Sleva, IGN. During today's Nintendo Direct, Mario Tennis Aces on Switch got a release date of June 22nd. This confirms a leak from earlier today. Alongside the date, Nintendo announces that before June, a pre-launch online tournament will take place. More details will come in the future. Aces was announced back in January during a Nintendo Direct Mini. It's the 8th entry in Nintendo's sport franchise, with which began back into the which began back. Editors, come on! In 2000 with Mario Tennis on the N64. Yeah. Aces will be the first Mario Tennis game to feature a story mode since Mario Tennis Power Tour on the Game Boy Advance back in 2005. I'm pumped. Here's to hoping Mario Tennis Aces, other than Mario Tennis Ultra. Let's just be honest. The Wii U sucked. It's just, ugh. Yeah, pumped. just all I can say, pumped. I'm excited. It wouldn't surprise me if we're going to see other Mario Tennis or Mario sports games, like Super Strikers, yada yada yada. Wouldn't surprise me. I want to see a Mario football game, not soccer, like American football. I think that would be fun, but I don't think that would have much popularity outside the U.S. But who knows? Well, that'll about do it for the Nintendo news, and back on to stuff that I actually out because I am not a big Nintendo guy. Article Games Radar by Zoe Dilhunty Light. Hopefully that's correct. Greedfall is the RPG that shows exactly what happens when you get rid of fetch quests and let story shine. Thank God I hate fetch quests. 35 hours of gameplay, around 80 quests, 0 fetch quests, which I've just outlined is a dream scenario for many gamers. The latest action RPG from Spiders, it's a reality. No pressure, but the lives of hundreds of people are in your hands as you've been sent to a previously unheard of island to find a cure for a disease ravaging the York. Again, editors, come on! Only thing is that the island isn't exactly empty. Various factions vie for control over its rare resources, among them rich merchants, magical native inhabitants, and a cunning religious sect, all fighting, negotiating, or just trading. But you won't be reduced to running errands to increase your reputation with each faction. Jean Rousseau, Spider CEO, says that the developer really means it when it says, and I quote, "We didn't want to have any fetch quests," end quote. Instead, Greedfall's quests are rooted in character development and story, and I quote, "We really wanted each quest to bring some lore elements," Rousseau says, to really be intricate with the rest of the story. So, of course, some people will probably ask you to create some object for them or to find something for them, but have kill me 3 birds or anything, end quote. That said, you can hear that sound you can hear, that's the sound of thousands of tears of joy falling from gamers' eyes. Well, sort of. I mean, those still kind of sound like fetch quests in all honesty, but whatever. By getting rid of that one RPG trope that tends to make gamers bury their heads in their hands, Greedfall is already focusing on keeping character-driven tales at its core. According to Rousseau, and I quote, "Most of the story comes from the characters, in terms of their own story, their own roles, their own ideals, and based on these characters, the story emerges and comes from that. Quests come naturally when you have a strong background character," end quote. Characters don't just mean the simple NPCs that only give out one quest to make them look like they have more depth than a cardboard cutout. Instead, Greedfall has a range of companions for you to recruit. Each companion has their, and I quote, "Each companion has their own quest and their own story," says Rousseau, which, and I quote, "allows us to have more intimate feeling, a more realistic feeling," end quote. As a newcomer to the island, you're in a little bit over your head to start off with. Thankfully, each faction's companion you in your endeavors, letting you increase your reputation with each group as you to fight, explore, and possibly even elope together. This isn't Spiders. They were the Technomancer. That was, they did the Technomancer. That's all right. I'm already sold. I mean, I like this, especially this picture. It's so Fable-esque to me. I like fantasy, but like we still get like guns and some like seeing some like steampunk or manufacturing. That's really cool to me. Goodbye fetch quest, hello nodal narration. No, I like, that's a fun word. Unlike with most RPGs, playing Greedfall isn't just a case of ticking off a quest as soon as it's done, consigning it to the pile to be forgotten. Greedfall uses a new tool called nodal storytelling that remembers, well, everything. Imagine the game like a giant tree where each choice or node branches into different scenarios depending on the choices you make. And I quote, it allowed us to have a system based on consequences," Rousseau says. Create in a very visual way the different consequences of the choice and all those things that are connected. We can visualize all the tree with all the branches. That's what we call nodal, because each choice is a dot and there are plenty of branches, end quote. this is what I was talking about this in my Fable 4 video when I was talking about how I'd like to see Fable 4's story evolve. Something like this. This is what I'm talking about. How it's not we just come up to these 4 big choices. How every choice leading up to each like major choice means something in the this branching concept. Sorry, that's a. So where were we? All those choices remain with you throughout your playthrough, so if you're the kind of person who scoops up all the side quests before dealing with the main quest, you'll probably be in a rather enviable position. Everything you learned during those side quests can be used to complete other quests in a slightly different way. See, in addition to an emphasis on story and nodal narration, another pillar rests on negotiation. Interesting. Negotiate your way out of this, just like in real life, or so I'm told. Violence isn't the only solution to your problems. Meet up with a faction before you take your quarrel to the battlefield, and you can try and talk your way out of it, out of calamity. Just remember that knowledge is power, as well as using your social skills to negotiate to get factions on your side. Your usual charisma, intimidation, or diplomacy kind of approach. You can also think back to what you've learned in your travels. Oh, so is there actually like a reason to like learn things and read all the books? About it, Rousseau says that, and I quote, "For example, during a side quest, you can learn about the governor of a faction and learn her dirty secrets. You can use that later to influence her decision. If you don't want me to talk about that, you should, think again about the decision. Chatting on one is a good lot more than just the things you say. You say them. God, editors. I'm gonna keep harping on it. I get 1 or 2 things slip by, but when there's like 4 or 5 errors like that in an article, people freaking read them. And I quote, "Choices you make during dialogue and gameplay, fighting people instead of using stealth to avoid combat, or using a lore element to convince people, will change their relationship to you than if you fight them," end quote, says Rousseau, so pick your battles carefully. So far, Greedfall looks like it's doing everything right. About how all the quests impact each other. The RPG seems like it'll offer a gourmet questing experience. Keep your fingers crossed. There's no set release date yet, but with Greedfall on the horizon, the future of RPGs will hopefully be a little brighter. Yeah, I'm pumped. I really haven't heard much about Greedfall after reading this. Super stoked, and it's now definitely on my radar. Moving on to some joins Ubisoft to work on an unannounced title. Article Shabana Arif, IGN. Horizon Zero Dawn producer Samrat Sharma, if that's correct, is returning to Ubisoft to work on an unannounced game. GameIndustries.biz reports that Sharma, previously a senior producer at Guerrilla Games, has left the studio to move to Ubisoft Toronto. Sharma has worked at Ubisoft before on Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Phantoms and Future God, I'm biting my tongue here. Soldier. Sharma's new position is also senior producer, but the title he's working on has yet to be revealed. And I quote, "I am excited to join the team at Ubisoft Toronto, who are working on some very interesting games and offer me a chance to continue my focus on leading teams and playing franchise businesses," he said. "I will miss Guerrilla and the amazing, talented people in the studio, and I wish them all the best for their next projects," end quote. Ubisoft Toronto is responsible for Honor, Watch Dogs 2, Far Cry Primal, and Far Cry 5, amongst others. I'm what's going to would be maybe we're going to see a new Ghost Recon game. I think that's the most obvious thing if he's worked on those before and he's coming here and he's working on an unannounced game. But who knows? I guess after some work with Guerrilla, especially with something like Horizon Zero Dawn under your belt, it wouldn't surprise me to see more of an action-adventure, open-world-esque game. Something in the vein of Horizon. So, who knows? Again, I'm a massive Ubisoft fan. I'm going to keep my eye out what Ubisoft's working on. Next up, Bethesda has announced a new studio in Austin. Once more, Shabana RFIGN. Bethesda will be expanding with a third office in Austin, Texas. Bethesda Game Studios and ZeniMax Media announced that Battlecry Studios will be welcomed into the fold to become Bethesda's Game Studios Austin. And I quote, "As the vision, scale, and ambitions for our games continue to grow, so does Bethesda Game Studios," said Todd Howard, game director and executive producer at Bethesda Game Studios. "We've had the pleasure to know the talented developers at Battlecry and knew we could do great things together." Battlecry Studios was established in 2012. Development on the studio's first title, Battlecry, was halted in 2015 amidst news of layoffs, but it went on to assist id Software with the development of 2016's Doom. And I quote, "We're excited to join Bethesda Game Studios and look forward to working together on some of the industry's most exciting new projects," said studio director Doug Mellencamp. "Austin's incredible game development scene and talent will also allow us to push our games further than fans have imagined," end quote. The Austin studio will join Maryland and Montreal under the Bethesda game. The studio is in the works, as well as an unannounced mobile game and a bleeding edge AAA film game. That's interesting, which is in development at the Montreal studio. All three studios are currently hiring. I would guess that they're not gonna be working on Elder Scrolls, just because I don't think you'd put a new studio under your branch, or a new branch studio under. Come on, brain. This is what happens when I do these. When I do these long form videos, I start to lose my mind a little bit. I don't think that it's a good idea to put one of your flagship franchises under the a new branch studio. So my guess is they're going to be working on either DLC for some stuff, maybe additions to Prey, maybe a new. Well, I mean, like I said, they're kind of working alongside Arcane Austin. So maybe we're going to see them do some stuff with Prey. Maybe we're going to see them do some stuff with Doom. Maybe we're going to. I'm interested to see what they're going to do, but I doubt Elder Scrolls 6 is in the cards. But keep an eye out. We haven't. So Bethesda has a new studio down in Texas. Final article we got, as I thought this would be fun. Joe Screbbles, IGN. CD Projekt Red has hinted that The Witcher's lead character, Geralt of Rivia, could be about to make an appearance in another game coming this year. Community manager Marcin Mamet, hopefully that's correct, dropped the hint on Twitter today. The inevitable question being, okay, what game will he be in then? What if Geralt was going to step out of the Witcher game for the very first time to make an appearance in one of the upcoming games later this year? Can I get the GIF to play? Alright, the smart money seems to be on Bandai Namco's Soul Calibur 6. That makes sense for several reasons. Bandai Namco and CD Projekt already have a relationship. Soul Calibur has an ongoing love affair with guest characters. Soul Calibur 6 is arriving this. And most importantly, Geralt likes using big swords. Yeah, I think that's my guess. That's probably going to be what it is. Other popular guesses have included Monster Hunter World, another guest-friendly series, Injustice 2, and the increasingly strange crossover machine Final Fantasy 15 on PC. Technically, only Final Fantasy 15 would be an upcoming game, however, and even that's something of a stretch. Whatever game he appears in, it may be the only way we get more Geralt, as CD Projekt Red says it's finished with his story in the Witcher universe. On a more practical level, the developer hard at work on a very different franchise right now. Cyberpunk 2077 is apparently more ambitious than The Witcher 3. I'm pumped for that. Hopefully we're going to see it at E3, although it does make me laugh because when it says everybody's, ooh, CD is going to be at E3, maybe they're going to talk about this. I'm going to make my guess now that's going to piss everyone off. They're going to be at the Xbox show and they're going to talk about Gwent. It's going to be 10 minutes of Gwent and nothing about Cyberpunk. But yeah, I think the smartest money is on Soul Calibur 6. I don't think he fits I don't think he fits the world of Injustice and Final Fantasy. I mean, that would be funny, but yeah, just Final Fantasy. They're doing some weird stuff. It's like I got really weirded out when they ended up in when they were in AC Origins. That was super weird. I guess Mario would make But I think the smartest bet is Soul Calibur 6. So tell me your predictions, like I said, down in the comments or to me on social media. For watching, as always. Below. I hope you enjoyed this. There will be another one of these up next week. Hopefully this will be uploaded by noon, but given how long it is, probably it'll still be uploading, but it'll be up as soon as it's done uploading. Thank you for watching. Like I said, next week, same time. Anything else? I think that's about it. So I'll be going now to start the editing process. Thanks for watching, everybody. And until next time, I'm AJ Gels, the Gaming Channel. I'm out.